Hello and welcome. This is Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina program. And the second November fly is the Shipmans Buzzer. But I have altered this a little bit to suit my needs. So I don't know, maybe it's Scott's Shipmans Buzzer. Anyway, I don't want to take credit for it. It's someone else's work. But anyway, this, like I said, this is our second fly for November. And let me go over the materials. The hook is a TMC 3769, size 14. The body is brown dubbing, and it's from Hairline chocolate brown. The tail and head are polypropylene yarn. The rib is Mirage Tencel opal, and the thread would be brown or camel. 6 or 8 would be fine. Okay, so let's tie this on. And this is a pretty simple fly. The only thing you need to worry about is not overdoing your dubbing. So what we want to do is we want to start the thread about 1 eye length behind the eye. Okay. Make sure it's secure, and we're going to move the tag in. Now what we want to do is grab our poly yarn, just a good inch or so. This is a full strand, but I didn't want to. I'm about to create the packets for this the class next month, so I didn't want to just cut a little piece off. But don't worry, this stuff will go into my recycle and will be utilized elsewhere. So we're just going to tie it in, and then we're going to bring it all the way to the bend of the hook. And if you hold this, you can position it anywhere to make sure it stays on the top of the shank. So I'm just pulling it backwards this way to me, which will ensure that it will stay on top of the bend of the hook. Otherwise, it'll try to curl underneath. And that looks like a good spot. So now I'm just going to do some wraps forward, and we're going to do the same with the front, and we're just going to put some loose wraps in, and we're going to carry it about 1 eye length behind the eye of the hook. And don't worry if you get some overlapping wraps. You just want to make sure that it's somewhat positioned where you're going. And I think I can probably start cinching it down there. Yeah, let's do a couple more. Then we can do some under wraps. There we go. So let's just bring the thread back to the hook point. And then what we want to do is we want to grab our Mirage Tencel, and we want to cut a little piece off. And we'll tie it in on the side somewhere. Really doesn't matter because it's going to wrap around 3 times around the shank. So I've got a little exposed piece up here. I want to sink that down. Okay, so we're going to come back, and we just want to make sure, if we do some heavy wrapping, we want to make sure the body's somewhat even. We don't want any big bulges with our dubbing. So now I'm going to create a dubbing noodle, and we're just using small amounts of dubbing. If you can see that. It is very, very fine stuff. And just work our way slowly forward. Okay, get it around the hook, and then we're just going to push it up. And we don't want to create too much of a body for this. We just want it to be a nice little round piggy. Well, no, I don't want to say piggy, because some of the people in my group will literally turn it into like a pregnant fly or something. But just nice and easy. And if you see any holes, go back and fill them. There we are. And remember, we're taking the opal and coming over the top of this too. So you want to kind of come a little bit tight on it, but not too tight. And if you have to do overlapping wraps, go ahead and do that. And just make a nice uniform body. And make sure it's still nice and buggy. What is that piece right there? Is it dubbing? I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Didn't get removed. I didn't see that. Yeah, I got it there. Another piece here. Stuff a little too buggy. But anyway. Alright. So now what we want to do is, since we wrapped it going this way, we want to counter wrap. So I'm going to bring it under. And we're just doing like 3 wraps. Get the tail. And we're doing spacing wraps. We're only showing 3 wraps. I'm actually going to do 4 wraps because I'm going to bury this under my thread. And you'll see how we'll be able to hide this. Okay, so I got 2 wraps, and then I'm going to bring it back this way just to make sure that we cover that up. And you can see how my thread is going to show right there, but we got a way to make that disappear. So just try to get it as close as you can, like so. Now what we want to do is, you can see the actual thread on the fly, and we don't want that. So we're just going to grab a tiny pinch of dubbing, and what we're going to do is we're going to camouflage that. And hopefully I have enough. It looks like I don't. So I'm just going to grab some more. Alright, and that may be too much, I believe. Anyway, we'll just wrap it backwards and make it a little tighter. So now what I want to do is I want to grab the poly yarn and pull it backwards. I'm going to bring the thread underneath it. Don't wrap it too many times because we don't want that sticking way up. Because if you wrap underneath it, it's going to force that material up. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple whip finishes in here. Save my work. And then, voila, we are done with the thread. I'm going to remove the thread. Now what we want to do is we want to kind of measure of how far we want this off. We don't want it too far, but we don't want it too short. I think that's going to work for my liking. Maybe a 1/4 inch. Right there. And then just kind of brush it out. And then I'm going to come up here to the front, and I'm about to do the same thing. Maybe just a tad bit longer. And there is our bug. It is the Shipmans Buzzer. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment field, and we'll certainly get back to you when we get the chance. If you have some, if you're watching this channel and you have some people who want to tie, you can go ahead and share it. I don't mind that at all. It is my channel, but it was built specifically for the flies that I teach my veterans. So if you're interested in this, certainly you can subscribe. We don't mind that at all. And we appreciate you watching the video. We will be sending more out. I've done 5 today, maybe 6. So there's going to be a hard dump of videos that they're going to be out there. I do a lot of other volunteering and still got to work. But thank you again for watching. This is Project Healing Waters, Fayetteville, North Carolina program, and signing off.